Hello, welcome back to Auction Spy. This is the channel where we spy on properties going to auction in the coming days. We appraise them using this ValUp tool to work out what the best strategy could possibly be for the property. Then we circle back after the auction and work out what the possible strategy the eventual purchaser of the property would have gone for. So essentially, we search through auctions, we see a property, we appraise it, and then we wait for the auction day, see how much it goes for, and try and work out what the person who purchased that property would eventually be doing to that property. If we meet up with a person, we'd ask them and they can tell us why they paid whatever prices they paid. But failing that, we can do the assessment ourselves. But underlying this all of this is that we learn how to appraise properties and different things to consider before we go for an auction. So before we move forward, let's pick our property. I've been searching on this site called EIG. It's essentially a catalogue of I think they say 98% of the properties that will be going to auction in the country. So it's a good place to start rather than going to all different auctioneers' websites. I've picked this one, the Barnehurst Road Bexleyheath. It's close enough to London to command some fairly high prices. It's a mixed use. So it's commercial on the ground floor and residential uppers. Now that's why it's interesting. It's mixed use. You can use permitted development rights to convert the ground floor into a house if it's the right use class. But all of that should be made available to you before the auction. As with everything, make sure you get a legal person to review the pack. There's a legal pack that comes with most, if not all, auction properties. Okay, so looking at this, it looks okay. It looks like Peter James had it on the market for a while and wasn't able to sell it, or it might be Peter James putting it in auction. Don't know. Concern for me straight away is this tree next to it. Could it be affecting the foundation? Could it be affecting the roof? That's something to check. So just make sure the structure is sound or sound enough for the amount of money you are going to be paying. Then you've got this structure next to it, which looks like a nursery. Again, that would be considered commercial. I believe that's use class D1. So if you are converting this, would the council let you convert this fully to a home, or would they expect you to still have a commercial frontage? So these are things you'd think about. And then this property, there are a few options. Would it work as a house if you converted it back to one house? Or would it work as two separate flats or HMO or something along those lines? You're not going to knock down and rebuild this, so that's out of the question. So it won't be new build, it won't be land conversion. So I think those are options. Convert to one house, split into two flats and a commercial front, and HMO. Okay, so let's look at some legal documentation. So there are no legal documents on here, but what we can do is go to the Auctioneer's website, which I've opened up here, Clive Emson, and then I've logged in. You have to register to see this paperwork. All right, so we're not interested in the EPC. You have to do a lot of work anyway for the kind of option we're looking at. I suppose the other option is to leave it as it is and fix up the ground floor, re-rent it as a commercial. That's a potential as well. What are these? Office copy entries. Okay, land registry documentation. Proprietor, Lake House Developments Limited. Oh, developments. I wonder if this was a property developer before, or at some point. Okay. Can't see any restrictions. What are the charges? Okay, so between Barclays Bank and Alfred, Barclays Bank was a vendor. Okay, so these are things you'd find when you read through the legal packs. And that's the office entries. This one's equally important. What's CAC? fairly large document. You want to be looking for things like the deposit amount, any extra charges you have to pay, like the vendor's legal fees has become normal. Expect to pay that. I can't see quickly how much you'd be paying. It doesn't jump out at me. Please get a legal person to read these documents, unless yourself you're a lawyer. Okay, so just scrolling through, can't see anything. Essentially, I'm looking for the numbers and they don't stand out. They may have written numbers in words rather than in digits, so that makes it difficult to pick up quickly. It's not a huge document, so a legal person shouldn't be charging you too much. And if you eventually purchase it from them, through them, then sometimes they remove the fee for reviewing the contract before the auction. Okay, buyer fee, to holding deposit. Stored by Stripe. Okay, that's the first time I've seen that. Okay, alright, so we don't really have too many legal docs here, so I don't think they're fully ready. When is the auction? Auction date 29th. Today's the 18th. Okay, well, let's carry on. Let's assume everything's okay. So DA76HD. Start appraisal, gone on to Vala, we add a new appraisal DA6HD. Let's see, what was that? 81. Well, 81, top floor flat, that's what we're after. Okay, well, that's what we've got. Let's go with it. Okay, so 81, just because we're buying the whole building. Just put that here. To price, option 4, let's say 375. Let's do 350. Just try to complete as many of these things as possible before the auction, so that that's quite important actually. Oh, okay, just do that. It's commercial. We do have the option of mixed use. Let's use that option. Right. Okay, let's go to our insight. Oh, do we want to do insights? Let's do. So insights essentially goes off and it looks for it pulls in information from the EPC and it works out a scheme for you and appraises it for different types of schemes, or buy-to-lets and service accommodation. But it's not open to everyone just yet, so you can click that and work out if you could do service accommodation. This is green, cash flow, the cash flow of 12,000. But that's not what we're really after. So we'll go to appraisals. Right. Okay, so the first thing is let's look at conversion. If upstairs is 51, then I imagine downstairs is 51 as well, roughly. So 51 is about one bed, it's a one bed flat. So if we did 105 here, you can get it to build your scheme. Okay, so that we can amend this. So let's come up with one unit. We can change that up when we go to the schemes page. Right. Okay. So 51. So here I'm assuming you'll be allowed to convert all of downstairs to a flat and not have to leave a residential piece. So conversion, okay, 60 grand for each flat. less, lower than that. Let's increase it. Okay, so let's get the price wrong there. Initially it was 3 beds on there, so let's change that. Let's get sale prices. Let's go for sale price. Right. Okay, so top price for 1 bed 51 square meter flat is 320 in the area. It's using the size. But I doubt anyone will pay you 320 to live in that place. So what I would do is I'll go with the sold price here. It'll be between this, the average price, and the max. I would say 250. It's going to be brand new, fresh. I think that premium is worth an extra 30k. Okay, so this one again, we do 250. Doesn't look good, does it? Alright, so it's saying your asking price, the offer price was 157. The auctioneer wants 350. Now the reason for that is if you are truly going to get 250 for each flat and your GDV is 500k, if you pay 350 you're left 150 to cover your all your auction fees, your stamp duty, unless you're a first-time buyer. Actually, you may not even qualify for the stamp duty relief that's currently on. So that's a difficult one, isn't it? So $500,000. If you could, I mean, this looks fairly high. I think something like that could do for 30 grand, especially the first floor. Doubt the first floor would need a huge amount of work. So let's reduce the build cost to about 400, so 20 grand should do that. Ground floor, we can make that 500. About 30 grand. So with total build cost of 50,000 for that building. What else is there anywhere? Your developer's profit is 30%, the finance rate is 5.85%, and project duration is 4 months. I think that's fairly generous. A profit of 150,000. Okay, so in my opinion, the best you can hope for is 250. If these are the prices you're working. I mean, obviously, let's save this. Let's see what the demand is like. So on average, is a seller's market. Okay, that's good. So you can look at other things like right, okay, 202, 322, 334, Eaton's Road. Yeah, but this is a flat in the city centre. Okay, so I don't believe we should push it any higher than this. So this is not a deal for a new build, for a conversion. So what if we turn this to an HMO? Let's see. Build time, just project duration. 6 months. This you probably more actually, because you need full planning to convert it all, unless you do some clever stuff. I'm not a planning consultant, but I wonder if you could phases for the HMO. So you get the building in its current form, move it to a normal house, then move it to HMO. I don't know if that's possible, if it's Article 4 or not. So you've got to do some research there. I would hazard a guess, say 6 bedrooms in here. How much is each unit? Let's say 20 and 15. Rent per month. So with this, we can get the rent per month. We've got 6 units. Let's assume you're doing double ensuite. Let's pick that price. Ooh, it's worse. Okay. What else? £900. I'm surprised if anyone paid you £900 for a double ensuite there. Yeah. Okay. So 150. I'm afraid doesn't work as a HMO. So what else could we do? We could leave downstairs as commercial and upstairs as a normal flat. So that's not worked. HMO. Let's see what commercial prices are like in the area. So we'll go to Rightmove. It's just a quick check, right? Definitely worth speaking to a commercial agent in the area to get more information. What was it? DA76HD. So right here, I'm just looking for comparables for commercial property. There's nothing there within a mile. Let's check quarter of a mile. Nothing there. Half a mile. Okay. So that's 120,250 per calendar month. It's not bad, is it? What does this one have? 667. Same company. So let's say we take the lower. Okay, so we'll save this. Let's go back. So in this case, we're just buying and refurbishing the commercial. So you don't need any planning, you don't need to do any of that great stuff. If we go to units, so Agro, got one apartment, so one bed, 1 square meters, this is one, this one the same. Big commercial. That's one. Shouldn't have to do too much work on this one, I think. 1,250. Okay. Right. So that gives us a GDV of 400,000 if we left it as commercial. 10% yield. If you change the yield to 5%, this comes up a bit. Gives a GDV of 550. So the GDV of this property seems to revolve around that 550 or 400 mark if you use this as a normal commercial. So for me, this would not be classified as a deal. It doesn't matter how much we twist the numbers here. If we reduce the profit, it can come up a bit. But this 20%, so make that 25%, because that is the equity you'd have in the property. You might be able to make tiny savings here and there, but it's a lot more speculative because you'd have to find somebody interested in a commercial property on that road. The only alternative use is to convert it, and we've seen that with the conversion. Have I saved that? Yeah, saved it. Appraisal. So with the commercial conversion of amount is 110,000. So with this, the maximum we're able to get up to is 246,000 or 324,000 with the developer's profit of 25%. So this gets you close, but the price Clive has on his website is 350 to 375. So this gives you a shot, but it means you have to leave the ground floors mixed. Okay, so what's this? With conversion, 250,000 as well. So this is valued at 250 as a development. So fortunately, this is not a deal. So keep investing. Good luck with your investments. Hopefully, we'll find a deal next time. We never know what we're going to find when we do these searches, but this is a good exercise to go through. Thank you very much for listening. Catch you next time.